When you know your numbers, you can make far better decisions than doing everything by either emotion or just shooting off the hip. So if you want to learn about the most important metrics I use to track my dispensary and other things in my office, you're going to want to stay tuned. But let's jump into the metrics that I think you should be tracking as a business owner. Now, as I said last week, just to summarize, we talked about 6 key ones that I think everybody should be doing. That's the number of new patients, the number of patient follow-ups, and how often each patient is following up with you, your supplement sales with regards to profit and cost of goods sold, your lab testing, again, the cost of the lab and your profit margin. Also looking into the amount of rent. So even as a business owner, I pay rent to all of my clinics. So I also want to be making sure that I'm bringing in enough revenue every single month to easily offset the cost of that rent. So you should be tracking that too. And then most importantly, marketing cost per lead or earning per lead. But for my business owners, we are going to go one step further because you have a lot more moving parts than potentially an independent contractor and associate with regards to managing everything involved in your business structure. So let's first talk about your team. I'm going to assume that it isn't just you, that you have other people in your office that are paying you rent or are on a split of some sort. So what we do is we are not only tracking how much I'm bringing in with regards to new patients and revenues and everything else, but I'm also tracking what the profit is of my associates or my independent contractors that work with me. So I will also then see how many patients are they bringing in, what is the profit margin that they are actually bringing me, and looking at all of those things, because this also allows me to have a conversation with those associates and say, look, you need to bring in X amount of dollars every single month just to offset the cost of running the business in your office space. If you aren't bringing that in, then we have a problem. So here's the things that you need to do. Or you can reward those people by saying, like, you are doing such a phenomenal job. Let's try to make it so that you're making a little bit more money just to reward those people, because the longer term stay you can have your associates and independent contractors, the more successful your business will be. Patients don't like change. Patients don't want to be getting to know a new RMT or a new clinician. They want everything to be the same. So the longer you can keep those people happy and encourage them to grow, the longer you're going to have them with you on your team. So having that data metric for each one of your independent contractors is essential. And you also, as I said, want to make sure you're tracking how much they are actually bringing into your pocket to see, you know what, is it worth the headache for having these people in because you're not making that much money? Or if it was a choice between a new person who was bringing in, let's say, their own client list versus someone who you've had for a long time, but they're just not putting in the effort. And we all know who those people are. There's a lot of, people out there that just do not like to work, and that's okay. But you may want to, again, have that conversation because this is your business. This is your livelihood. You are bringing in these people to help you grow your business and to help you make a bigger impact in your community. So they have to be very much in alignment with you and your business and your growth. If they aren't there, then it might be a conversation you need to have and just bring somebody else new in. So having that data is going to make that conversation a lot easier. It's not going to be based off of emotion. It's not going to be based off whether you like the person or not, because you don't necessarily have to like them for them to be doing great work in your business. You need to be, looking at the data and seeing how everybody in your business and all those little pieces are working. Now, for you as the business owner, you may also be controlling the entire dispensary. So dispensary is just money basically sitting on a shelf, and that is not a good place for it to be. We need to be getting that dispensary turning over. So it's incredibly important for you to be tracking the inventory numbers to make sure that everything is matching what's sold and what's on the shelf, and you should be doing that or having your receptionist do that every single day to make sure that the inventory is up to date. And then you also want to be looking at, well, how much profit is bringing or having that dispensary bringing into my office? Meaning there is other options like online dispensaries, Fullscript, and we have an entire episode on the difference between an online and an in-office dispensary that you may want to listen to after this. But if having your dispensary is actually causing you more stress and it's actually making a worse dent in your credit card debt or in your personal debt, well, then that's a real issue. And it would be better for you just not to have the dispensary and maybe create a great relationship with a few health food stores than offering those supplements. So again, data will tell you whether it's a good financial investment for you to have supplements in your office or not. And then we can tease out what the other options are. And please remember, as I'm talking about this, where you are now isn't necessarily where your business is going to be a year from now. None of these changes that we're talking about are going to be permanent, or you just pick one path and that's the only path that you can do. Maybe right now you needed to put a lot of money into renovations, or something happened in the clinic, or something happened in your personal life where you just need that cash flow to be there. This allows us to determine what the lowest hanging fruit is that we can get rid of and then create that cash flow, and then you can always bring it back into your business. Now, a lot of the expense is definitely going to come from bills with regards to internet, telephone, having a fax line, all of those kind of basic things. So you need to be tracking what your fixed cost is every single month. So then when you're looking at your revenue, your independent contractor revenue, you can then see, okay, yep, the business is doing really, really good. We're making exactly what we need to be making, or there's something wrong somewhere and it needs to be fixed. So having that fixed expense list is going to be incredibly important for you. And that will also then include what you're paying monthly for, let's say, social media apps or your website or other sort of like tech things that are kind of on a month-to-month basis. QuickBooks is again another monthly fee for my accounting. I use Infusionsoft. That allows me to do my invoicing. That's a monthly expense that I need to be taking into consideration. So every single thing that you can think of that is on a monthly basis, or even if it's an annual membership, you could spread that out over the months and make sure that you're meeting like that, the fixed expenses that you need to. Thank you for tuning in to the Profitable Practice Podcast. Did you like this video? If so, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and definitely subscribe to the channel. If you want to listen to the rest of the podcast episode, be sure to click the link in the description below. And if you're looking for even more resources on how you can create a profitable practice, I encourage you to sign up for the freebie we also have in the description. You will automatically be put onto our newsletter list where you will get first dibs on every new episode, as well as any new training or online series or freebies that I'm giving away throughout the year. Your commitment towards learning the business side of your practice matters. Stay positive, keep taking those baby steps, and promise me that you are going to take imperfect action every single day. Remember, your patients or clients are reaching their hand for you to help them. There is no excuse why you can't provide the help that they need. So stop getting in your way, continue to learn, take those baby steps, and as I said, take that imperfect action every single day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you on the next episode of the Profitable Practice Podcast.